the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is Iracing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is Iracing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. Iracing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
Well, after a very fun, successful broadcast last Sunday afternoon from Martinsville Speedway, the Leadfoot Racing League have invited us to come back here and coverage from one of a track that means near and dear to my heart. Called many races here. Was very good friends with the announcer, the late Bobby Summers, and many Myrtle Beach 400s I had the chance to call under NASCAR's tenure. And we welcome you to virtual Myrtle Beach Speedway. The real-life track is gone in ruins and tore down, but a memory just on the Grand Strand in the Palmetto State of the coastal area. But iRacing continues with its memories, and we welcome you to the next round with 3 races left to go in Season 1 of the Leadfoot Racing League on Elevated TV. I'm Wesley Outland. We have a very special guest alongside, ready to roll here as well. And, of course, I'm looking forward to working with Scott Shive this evening. Cody Deemers will be taking the production side of things tonight. Scott, Myrtle Beach Speedway, you think of the old Myrtle Beach 400, the All-Pro Series, ASA, a lot of great storylines at this awesome racetrack, and we're ready to see what these late model drivers will do here tonight.
Yeah, while the place might actually be gone, it is relived here in the sim. We'll see the 7 out there right now. That is James Birdsong putting himself 3rd so far of the qualifiers. But man, this track is amazing, Wesley. You know it better than I do, and it always provides excellent racing. And we'll get to see it all here tonight with 125 laps ready to go on the board as these drivers continue to go out here and set their fast laps.
We're watching qualifying, of course, take place right now. There's Landon Brown. That guy had a kind of an up and down Sunday at Martinsville last week, and ready to see what these guys can work on here. So this track is 5/8 of a mile. But the key thing about Myrtle Beach Speedway is that it is a flat racing surface. There's a little bit of banking, but there's really not a lot of banking. This is not a high-banked racetrack. This is a driver's track, Scott, where you can just drive wide open.
It really is, and it's so easy to burn up your stuff here. It's easy to burn up that right rear, and usually over time at a track like this, it's so easy for your car to get tight and have to slow up and roll those center of the corners a lot longer than a lot of drivers would want. So drivers will have to be looking at that all night long in this 125-lap feature race because tires are key here tonight, Wesley.
Yeah, let's take a look, of course, as we watch some more drivers working their way around the racetrack. And, I'm ready to see, who can be competitive because the key is here, it's a 125-lap race. As you see down Marty Lindley, And this is a guy that's got some amazing credentials in real reality racing. as well as what he's done in the sim world. Clay Smith in that 04 machine, but of course, man, you got a very popular name of Marty Lindley joining us tonight. We had Carson Quapple last week as well, and now, of course, here's the man that is going to be fun to watch, a driver that won the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National in Kenley back in November of last year. Parker Eatman, good to see him here tonight, Scott.
Yeah, Parker Eatman, been watching him for quite a while here in the Cars Tour last year, and man, that race at Southern National was an absolute thriller. Southern National, one of my favorite tracks, only ever gotten to drive it in the sim and call races there, but man, Parker Eatman, we've been able to see a lot of his talent over the past year or so, especially in this late model stock, and a lot of that real world especially translates here in the sim. Eatman, a very fast driver. He goes to the top of the charts right now, 19.617. That's almost a tenth. It is a tenth faster than Caden Ballos that was currently had the pole before him. Now out is the 09 of Riley Gentry, another Cars Tour driver.
Yeah, Riley Gentry, of course, right there in the hunt of the things that we saw last week at Martinsville. And he's going to go down to second on the board. And as I mentioned, Martinsville is the half-mile racetrack, 5/8 of a mile, big facility here. And this track is the same size, Scott, of the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. It is just, again, it's just configured differently.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like it's the same length as Nashville, because Nashville feels so much faster, but that's right, because it has those higher banks. You're able to carry a lot more speed through the corners and down the straightaways, but like we've said, Wesley, this is a flatter track, and especially when it comes into tracks like this, it's more of a driver's track. You'll see Ryan Zima ending his lap there. Zima goes third on the charts here tonight. Jordan Black out there putting down his laps as well as qualifying comes to a close.
Yes, it looks like Parker Eatman has put down the fast lap, but my apologies. My timing and scoring for App Engineering is froze on me. Mr. Producer Cody, if you can refresh it for us, buddy, please. Looks like Parker Eatman put down the fast lap here when it is all said and done, but now we'll get ready to go for this big event. It's a 125-lap race as, again, we look at this beautiful facility. Another thing you got to think about, too, this race will be held at daytime, and we're really going to kind of talk about that as we transition in the Century Grind in a quarter distance race as we get ready to give you the starting lineup here. Here it is. Tonight's race at Myrtle Beach will go like this on the pole. Parker Eatman, Riley Gentry again will make up the front row, 19.617 seconds for the fast time. We got sponsors and things we'll mention along the way. We'll do that. Riley Gentry, a buddy of mine that I know very well in the world of U.S. Legends cars. I call him the Z-Man from Ryan Zima in the 21. Jordan Black to the outside of the number 14. Row number 3 is going to find Caden Ballas in the 19. Thad Collins in the number 6. Dylan Porter, Marty Lindley. Mr. Scott will make up the first 4 rows as you give the rest of our lineup here, buddy.
Well, then it'll be Seth Cole there in his number 11 machine. It is outside. It'll be Lenny Brown in the 83. Then back here outside the top 10 will be the 91 of Tracy Brown. Right to his outside, that'll be Landon Brown. Then it's Travis Lapinus there, and then Clay Smith in the 04. Jason Woodham, James Birdsong, they're there in your 7th row. And in the last row here tonight will be Max Cost and Nolan Crowley. Crowley, the only one not to grid up yet here tonight.
There you go. So, kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be seeing and watching for sure as you see this beautiful field behind the pace car, obviously ready to roll. Hey, one of the things we want to let everybody know about here on Elevated TV as well as on the Community Radio Network will be coming up this upcoming Friday and Saturday. That's January the 31st and February the 1st, and that is going to be the inaugural virtual Great American Race, and that is, of course, the Daytona 500, We are looking forward to bringing you the AI 500 from Daytona. Right now, I'm understanding that Cody Scott Shive working on getting Zachary Demertis to join us as well in the broadcast. Now, the duels will be with Cody and myself on Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, on this upcoming Friday, January 31st. February the 1st, we'll go at green at 12 noon, as they old say in the Old West. Scott, high noon, 12 noon, and looking forward to 500 miles, 200 laps to kind of give a little appetizer before the real Great American Race, and the Clash the night before or the after as well. Looks good.
It's going to be great, Wesley.
Well, the pace car is in. Ladies and gentlemen, Leadfoot Racing coming to green at Myrtle Beach. We're underway. We emphasized a moment ago that this race is going to be in the daytime, Scott. Daytime racing in virtual or reality, completely different than racing under the lights. But these guys successfully work off turn 4. They put lap number 1 on the board.
Everyone almost single file out here throughout the most. Eatman takes it away on the pole. Gets a great jump on the restart above Gentry and Zima. Then it's Jordan Black back there. Then here back. It's a fight back right outside of the top 10. This is Tracy Brown on the inside of Landon Brown. They started side by side in their respective rows. And they're still side by side here coming into lap number 4.
Working their way again. And these opening laps getting started. We'll kind of watch and see what goes on. Look at this now happening. The 91 on the inside, giving plenty of room. And, of course, watches Tracy Brown. Lapidus right there in tow, along with Clay Smith. Loves these camera angles as they send it off back into the corner. And I've always said this, Corey Latham, Race 22, used to take some awesome pictures. And I've always said, no doubt, Scott, that the angle from turn 4 going to turn 1 used to be some of the best views in racing.
It was one of the best, absolutely. Want to mention about Tracy Brown. They're currently running in 12th. Still now on the outside of Landon Brown. He has a banner on the top of his car there in his 91. You can actually sponsor that with your company or whatever you so desire. Reach out to Tracy Brown there. But right now he's trying to find his way up through this field, Wesley.
Yeah, we're kind of watching, seeing what he'll do here. Watching him work around the corner. Big gaggle of traffic up ahead. Working 3 and 4. This is the key here. We saw a phenomenal race. Had a handful of cautions last week at Martinsville. But the smart thing to do, Scott, is to just get in line. Be patient. Let's get through this first stage, right? Fill your car out. See what it's going to be like. And then you work your way towards, of course, the big second stage to take you to the finish.
Well, Gentry apparently within these first 8 laps, he's figured out what he's got. He's gotten in front of Parker Eatman. Ryan Zima has followed him through as well. So Parker Eatman there from first down to third. Gentry and Zima confident in what they have. But again, this race will change, Wesley, because this track will continue to rubber up. That sun will continue to beat down on this track. We will get slicker and slicker, and these cars will get tighter and tighter. It's whoever can amount to those changes we will see rise to the top.
Yeah, we certainly will. Patience is the key right now as we watch them work around the racetrack. Another lap in, of course, Myrtle Beach Speedway. Hey, we want to thank Eastern Technical Design Incorporated for the title sponsor of this 125-lapper on Elevated TV here at Myrtle Beach. W Energy Fast Time Award, of course, went to the man that put it up in the front with a fast lap. And, of course, again, waiting to see how things develop. Parker Eatman, our special guest. Marty Lindley, and he is the NASCAR Xfinity crew chief for Junior Motorsports. Connor Zelich, and again, a former Hooters Pro Cup racer. And back in the day of the 90s, I remember, Scott, going to Myrtle Beach and seeing the Pro Cup race cars here. Marty Lindley was one of those drivers you definitely were always excited to watch.
Well, I wish I could have said that I was there, but I was definitely 10 years from being born. I so wish I could have been there with you, because I know that those were the days, and the amazing days, especially when you got to see just such high-class racing at a venue like this. Again, we're so lucky to be able to at least have it still today here in the sim as we look along here with the 36 of Matt Kost trying to work up. He is your biggest mover so far, up 5 positions. He started all the way in the back. He is up to 12th. Meanwhile, Ryan Zima here still on the back bumper of Riley Gentry. Them two seeming to handle where they're at right now. Parker Eatman has fallen back now, 8/10 back from Zima.
Everybody right now just doing a phenomenal job racing here. Well, we kind of mentioned the format, 125 laps the distance. They're working right now to lap number 40. And of course, any caution within lap 35 to 40, if we have one, will officially be stage number 1. And then, of course, they race their way back for the finish of the race. Caution laps do count in this race, but right now, man, these guys are quickly getting around this track. They are given one fast repair if needed, and what a show we're seeing here right now, and a great performance by Riley Gentry up front as we see now the drivers of Marty Lindley and Travis Lapanis going at it, working off turn 4.
Yeah, Lapanis here tracking right behind, just inside the top 10. Marty Lindley, only driver here in front. Lindley has a 2.8 second gap. Meanwhile, pass for the lead. It's Ryan Zima out of the exit of turn number 4. Third leader of the night, it's the Z-Man.
Ryan Zima, whether it's a Legends car in reality or if it's here in iRacing simulation, never count out Ryan Zima as that 21 goes to the top spot, working off the corner back to 1, leading the way, 17 of 125 laps, everything flowing perfectly here at Myrtle Beach. Zima around Gentry, Eatman third, Black and Collins Scott, your top 5 as they all are right now at a conga line in the top 5, working off 4.
Working back again here to Max Kost. He continues to try to work through this field. A driver who didn't have a qualifying he would have wanted, but seeming like he's got a fast hot rod under this sun at Myrtle Beach. Just didn't have the best qualifying. Trying to work here around Clay Smith. But man, looks like Marty Lindley slowing up these guys behind him. But again, Lapanis just cannot get by.
We're just kind of watching how this is all transitioning here, as there is still plenty of racing left to go. I kind of hinted on it, and we will continue to watch them here as Ryan Zima in the front. Not only did he take the lead, he pulled away as now we watch this battle in the back of the top 10. Travis Lapanis, Lindley, Smith, that's Clay Smith, Max Kost, all right there in a gaggle, but honestly, it's single file, and everybody is being patient here. Patience is key, Scott, here as we work already towards 25 laps being completed of this race.
Yeah, Travis Lapanis been especially patient here with Marty Lindley. He's definitely had some attempts there where he could have moved Lindley, but he has not yet. But I wonder how long Lapanis will be content to ride behind as the gap continues to grow to 8th place Seth Cole, now 2.4 seconds.
Already approaching 25 laps completed here in tonight's Eastern Technology Design Incorporated 125. Down to the final 3 races, can you believe it, of season number 1? Of course, drivers really being patient, which is key. This track, however, Scott, very abrasive on tires, but right now we're just kind of seeing everybody be patient on this opening stage.
Well, and that's something that I love that you mentioned, Wesley, because we've got the points here that have been they've been battling all season long here with season 1. Landon Brown currently tops the points. Brown back here, He's in 13th right now. Again, we continue to look here at the battle for the lead. Brown has 2 wins so far this season, but the next driver with a win, it's Riley Gentry, and he's back in 10th in the points. Obviously dominated last week at Martinsville, but since race number 3, that was his 2nd win. And so a lot of these drivers up here within the top 10 of these points have yet to get a win, but they've been consistent all season long. As you'll see, Jordan Black now diving to the inside of Eatman.
certainly keeping an eye on these guys working back around the racetrack. "28 of 125 laps. We're already under 100 laps to go. But remember, the key is right now to get to the end of stage 1, which will be lap number 40. And I'm being honest with you, as we see the countdown clock already from triple digits to doubles. This is the smart play by everybody on the track right now doing what they're doing here at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, just really, like you said, Wesley, just feeling out their cars. Obviously, some figured out what they had earlier than others. But this is honestly I wouldn't say 2 races because it's very pivotal of where you're cycling out a lot of these drivers right now. But it's really a chance to see if when you come into the box at lap 40, if you want to make any changes or anything of that nature, because after that we'll have 85 laps. It'll be much longer and you'll have to drive your car differently than you did in this first 40.
Watching these drivers work their way around the track, and again, we're still seeing Ryan Zima, but here comes Riley Gentry, starting now, if you will, Scott, to mount the pressure back on Zima as they work their way back into turn number 1, but just patiently getting to the back door, not trying to be aggressive, not trying to do anything maneuver-wise, bump and run or anything to make a move, and right now we're watching this happen in 3.
Yeah, Gentry had the lead taken away from him by Zima, but Zima has stayed on the bumper, Gentry has. Zima was able to pull away just by 3/10 or so, but ever since that, Gentry has been there. Gotta wonder if Zima is just controlling the pace right now. Again, we've only got 7 laps to go here until we get that competition caution. So Gentry and Zima just riding here, but Gentry is right there at the bumper. Meanwhile, Jordan Black and Parker Aitman are 1.8 seconds back. So it's really Gentry and Zima all out on their lonesome.
Big thanks again to Dubby Energy. Gear Up Photography for the stage break here for stage 1. And right now, patiently been looking for that MHD Design Incorporated caution flag. It ain't came out yet, though. It looks like it might come out right here at the end of the stage as these laps continue to fly by here in the opening first 40 laps. As whoa, up high. First craziness of the event we're seeing now. The 36 in trouble. Saves the car. That's Max Cost. And everybody's going by him here. He's slip sliding. That's Landon Brown, Lenny Brown, and others getting around that car. 36 and 3 and 4.
Everything that he worked for, from getting to the back up, trying to get to that top 10, well, he lost it all right there, right before turn 1. You know it again, Wesley. It's so interesting about this track. It has I wouldn't call it a D-shaped oval, but the front straightaway is definitely not straight, and it's so easy to snag the wall there as you're trying to widen the entry to turn number 1, and that's what Max Cost did right there, and it cost him 3 positions.
Man, this track not in existence anymore, but I can tell you, looking at the virtual picturesque images and seeing these cars on the track, it takes me back to the first time I ever worked with Bill Hennessy and the late Bobby Summers, and even to the last time that we worked the Myrtle Beach 400 together. Right now, time running out. Ryan Zima up in front. Riley Gentry right behind him, 1 and 2, single file, and the laps are winding down as well here for the end of stage 1.
Laps winding down, 2 more to go here for this first stage. Gentry, we've got a caution out. Right as Gentry was looking for it.
Yeah. Just as the caution's coming out here, it's because we're closing in at the end of the stage, and we had a feeling we're going to see this anyway.
I wondered if we'd see it one more lap later, but it looks like Gentry had looked for a move there, Wesley. Just didn't quite know when the caution was going to come out for him, so Zima holds it for now.
So here's the caution for the first time tonight here at the Eastern Technology Design at 125, and it is because it is the end of the stage. By the way, big thanks to Gear Up Photography, the stage break sponsor. Gear Up Photography snaps quality race day pictures at America's favorite bull ring. My buddy at Wake County Speedway gear him up. Gear Up Photography, and of course, find him on Instagram and send a message to schedule your track photos today. And of course, I always get to mention him at Wake County Speedway. And don't forget about that Winter Bull Ring Bash coming up beginning on February the 22nd. And I have no doubt my buddy from Gear Up Photography will be out there. Stage sponsor here for the MHD Design Incorporated yellow flag for the first time in the race. And I'll tell you what, Scott, what's your synopsis of the first 40 laps of this Eastern Technology Design 125?
Well, I mean, it looked like everybody was just, like you said earlier, figuring out their stuff, figuring out what they had here under this beating sun. Obviously, you saw right there, Ryan Zima, only car to come into the pit lane so far. I'm surprised to see that. These cars can only make it 112 laps on fuel, so they will require a pit stop here tonight. Clay Smith is now in the pit lane, but those first 40 laps were very calm. We saw two changes for the lead. Parker Eatman started with it. Then we had Riley Gentry, and then obviously Zima took the lead away. So 3 cars battling for the lead there. But I think a lot of guys were saving because they know we've got a lot of this race to go. Didn't want to show their full potential in what they got behind the wheel.
And right now, obviously, as we kind of wind down the first stage, I got a feeling things will definitely get picked up, and the anticipation will also get going as well as we move in to the second stage.
Yeah, I really like the call of some of these guys coming in here to the pit lane. I thought we'd see everybody because, again, these drivers cannot make it on fuel. So all these drivers staying out here betting on a caution at some point in this race, but it is not guaranteed.
Coverage on Elevated TV and the Community Radio Network now moves into stage number 2. Here at the Eastern Technology Design 125, we are back underway to take it to the finish. So far, only caution that came out was the end of the stage. A lot of drivers up in front decided to neglect to come to pit road, and it is a lot more exciting watching Riley Gentry, Parker Eatman, Jordan Black, just some of the new names of guys that are up now. Ryan Zima has fell back into the Dirty Dozen spot as we're approaching lap number 50 of this race.
Yeah, you can see here Jordan Black on the bumper of Eatman. Again, Eatman started up front for this race. This is where we're really going to see these drivers see what they have behind the wheel here because, again, no guarantee of cautions coming out here, so it's go time. Obviously, you got 80 laps, so you don't want to burn up your stuff, but it's all out here on the table now for these drivers.
Big thanks again to Eastern Technology Design, the title sponsor of tonight's event for the Leadfoot Racing League on Elevated TV. For those that are watching or listening on the Community Radio Network, Eastern Technology Design provides design and drafting services for commercial, industrial, and residential construction. Services include architectural renderings, of course, preliminary plan design, as well as final construction drawings. Drawings include all necessary structural building, plumbing, mechanical, and electrical plans is required to produce a finished building product or structure. This company, of course, is a sponsor of the event and owned by also competitor of the Leadfoot Racing League admin Tracy Brown. So again, Eastern Technology Design Incorporated and Riley Gentry, deja vu from last Sunday from Martinsville to Myrtle Beach. Scott, he's up in front of that 09 and he's looking really good.
Saw him dominate last week at Martinsville, second win of the season so far, currently 10th in points. He would love to dominate this one at Myrtle Beach, but again, 76 laps to go, now clicks off for 75. That's a long way to go here, and anything can happen out here, especially with a 17-car field. Jordan Black continues to look right at the back bumper of Eatman. As you look back here at the 9th position, this is Landon Brown, current points leader. He's got some right front damage there, Wesley.
He certainly does. As we now look at Brown, the points leader, really racing aggressively. Travis Lapanis now and Caden Ballas also going at it sideways for a spot there. Landon Brown in that snake's patch of the top 10. He's in 9th. And we're at 75, under 75 to go now here. A very calm race. I am so impressed with these drivers being patient. And honestly, on an abrasive racetrack in daytime conditions, what a smart play we're seeing here, Scott.
It has been really nice to watch these drivers. Definitely a lot of them being very patient here tonight. As we'll look here, Lepanus trying to go for the inside here on Dylan Porter. Saw him earlier behind Marty Lindley, was being patient with him. Now Porter trying to slide the crossover here, barely gets to the inside of left rear. Lepanus leaves him room, but Lepanus going to have the speed here on exit.
Riley Gentry in the lead. Parker Eatman, the official Thanksgiving Classic winner at Southern National. Back, of course, last November. In that second spot. Jordan Black back to third. He battles now with Eatman. And there's Lepanus battling. In the top five, another lap on the board here.
I know you saw that, Wesley. Black slid up there right on the entry of turn one, allowed Eatman to where he could not throw the crossover down the back straightaway. That was a great move by Jordan Black to secure second position.
Mr. Engineer, if we could update App Engineering timing and scoring, it's gone frozen on me again, buddy. As right now, of course, we are still seeing with under 70 to go, Riley Gentry continuing to lead the way. What a solid performance. We're watching these drivers work around the racetrack here. Lap number 54. Riley Gentry, Parker Eatman. Jordan Black now we're called back up again on lap 58. Parker Eatman, Thad Collins, Travis Lepanus. And that's the way it stands right now. What a solid run for Riley Gentry as we see some more cars in the back. Thad Collins driving a Bobby McCarty throwback, if you will.
Love to see it. Well, let's look here, right, who's behind out of that top five. Well, it's Ryan Zima. He has brought it all the way from 15th on this restart when he took to the pits to get fresh tires. He's all the way up to 6th. So he is moving back through this field on those fresh tires, and he has enough fuel to make it to the end. Clay Smith, Seth Cole, both a lap down or more than laps down. So Ryan Zima, the only driver on track right now that can make it to the end on fuel.
65 to go. We have seen one caution, and that, of course, was the caution for the end of the stage.
Oh, big wreck in the backfield. Caution is out.
Too soon. Look out. Trouble. Dylan Porter and others turned around. Scott Shive, first caution now on the racetrack besides at the end of the stage. What happened?
Yeah, you'll see right here. This is Dylan Porter in his number 10, was just running outside of that top 10. You'll see the 19 right here. Kalen Bellows going to get in contact with Landon Brown. They make contact, then Brown gets there into Dylan.
Caution out. This will let us step away very quickly to thank our sponsors on the radio side and on Elevated TV. We return with plenty of racing left to go from Myrtle Beach with the Leadfoot Racing League. We're back in a moment.
Will he be able left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be...
Still a long way to go here with Elevated TV and CRN's coverage of the Leadfoot Racing League from Virtual Motor Beach Speedway. Once again, coming up this Friday, the duels. The Virtual Great American Race from Daytona, the AI 500. I believe right now Scott Shive and Zachary Demertis and myself will be on the call for that big race. High noon, Saturday. 12 p.m. Hope you can join us. And, Scott, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be an endurance race, no doubt, as you see all the details of what's to come here on Elevated TV this upcoming weekend.
It's going to be excellent. I am really excited for it. We got a lot of things to come, Wesley, but we've got more laps to come here tonight at this Myrtle Beach Speedway.
Ready to come back for the restart. And the old cliche, cautions breed cautions. Will that happen? As we go back to racing with 60 laps to go. Just past the halfway mark. Scott Shive, I'm Wesley Outland. Cody Deemer's on production. And the Z-Man back up in front again of Ryan Zima. James Birdsong now. Riley Gentry, Jordan Black. All these are drivers we're kind of watching. Look at this gaggle of traffic is under attack as Jason Woodham going into turn 3 there.
Yeah, Woodham stayed out here as well as James Birdsong and Zima, but Birdsong and Woodham have not pitted yet at all in this race, so Zima flying away out front. Meanwhile, Birdsong able to hang on to it, but right now Woodham being eaten up by this traffic. Those tires are now over 70 laps old.
Look at that move inside. And this is the battle now going on with James Birdsong, Riley Gentry, Parker Eatman looking on, being patient. I love the color, Scott, of that number 7 car. It's very standout, looks very sharp as Gentry and now Eatman capitalize on Birdsong, stuck on the outside as we work now, closing in on 55 to go here at Myrtle Beach.
I love that number 7. I also love that number 6 of Thad Collins you were mentioning earlier. Thad Collins now working to the inside in that solid block carriers number 6. Again, Birdsong on a lot older tires. A lot of these guys. Whoa, the 6. Collins wheels sideways on the exit of 4. Meanwhile, the 61 Marty Lindley way down on the inside. He got loose as well.
What an unbelievable save we just saw a moment ago. As now, look at this battle going on inside the number 10. Just trying to pull up and make a move. It's getting exciting now. I think we're starting to see, as we see Dylan Porter and Marty Lindley, more lap traffic or backmarker cars in front of this pack. Patience is key, Scott. You can't be too aggressive to take yourself out. You're right there in the hunt as we are about to approach 75 laps completed, 50 laps to go now here in this 125 lapper for the Leadfoot Racing League. Is, oh my goodness, bouncing off the wall. Lindley, Collins, and LePanis all in a big gaggle of traffic.
Yeah, big stack up right there for those drivers. We've got to be patient, like you said, Wesley. That's what these drivers need here tonight. But you'll see it along with these drivers running up here in the top 5. Got to continue to have that patience here tonight. Thad Collins right here out in front, and Seth Cole, a few of these drivers, multiple laps down or more. So some of them out here in the field. This is Braden Kalos. He is a lap down right now, so not running for position, but he is the first car 1 lap down. But meanwhile, up front, it's Jordan Black going to the inside, the 4th leader of the day.
The roar of those cars working now down into turn number 3 and 4 here at the 5/8 mile Myrtle Beach Speedway as we move now into pucker time. 50 to go, and we got a caution. Yellow flag is out. Big stack up coming off of that 4th turn. Landon Brown, one of the drivers involved, and the man that is the points leader in trouble with another accident off the 4th turn.
Yeah, looks
Here's
like
the replay.
Yeah, looks like Marty Lindley gets in there hot on the back of the 19. Braden Kalos, you'll see it right here in front of Landon Brown. They'll get stacked up here in 4, and that will collect these other drivers here. The 83 of Lenny Brown, Dylan Seth Cole right there, and then a big hit there.
Yeah, man, he kind of backed into the driver door. Lenny Brown did whenever he was trying to pull away and got into the driver's side of the point leader's car. By the way, this will trigger another MHD Design Incorporated caution sponsor. Of course, owned by Mac Morgan, based out of North Carolina. Of course, they are a company that excels in creating innovative architectural interior design and solutions. They focus on crafting unique and functional spaces for residential clients, ensuring each project reflects the individual style and needs of the homeowner. More details at MHD Design Incorporated. W Energy, of course, the Fast Time Qualifying Award going to the driver Riley Gentry. And well, I tell you what, we're really watching all these guys working around this racetrack, and I think patience now is probably out the window, Scott Shive, as you're now in the home stretch of this race, approaching the final 50 laps. And again, I think everybody's now going to be out for themselves to try to win this event.
Yeah, 45 laps to go. They will be out on their lonesome. It is going to be time to go here in this race. Another thing that we haven't gotten to mention quite yet enough is those points. You just mentioned Landon Brown there involved in an incident. Tracy Brown, the next car back, he's also been involved. He's multiple laps down. Woodham, Lenny Brown, as well as Dylan Porter all have been involved in incidents. James Birdsong saw him stay out right there. Low down here in the back here, now just on the last car on the lead lap. So all these drivers within the top 9 in points having problems tonight. The only car who hasn't had a problem yet in those top 12 is Riley Gentry and Seth Cole. But Seth Cole, 34 laps down, so it's really Gentry.
And I'll be honest with you, if Riley Gentry can be smart, he could try to climb and get some points here on these guys, because the points gap was 222 to 207. 22 points separated Chandler Joyner to Landon Brown in the top 3 as we get ready to go back to green flag here. Coming to the line, it will be timing and scoring froze again for some reason, Cody.
Yeah, they're doing one more lap here.
Yeah. Yeah, our timing and score went out on us. I think the last time I had looked at it, the caution came out with 59 to go. I think they took off 3 laps under caution. And I think we're looking at probably 56, 55, 54 laps. They have waved off the restart as you see the safety car catching the field.
And now,
yeah, App Engineering, you're fired. All right, there we go. Now we're called back up with Jordan Black, Ryan Zima, front row, 44 to go. I was close, wasn't I, Scott? Let's go back to green here.
You were.
Let's settle it here at Myrtle Beach. And I got a feeling it's about time to be aggressive. It's here comes Gentry diving down on Zima for second. Black's gone in turn 4.
A little bit of contact there between those two drivers. Gentry throwing it in the inside of 3, now here in the inside of 1. Those top 4 cars are bad fast here tonight. And let's not forget Lepanus right there in 5th. He's been fast tonight, just been stuck in the mid-pack. He's now joined these top drivers, all single file through the top 7, and they are all within 2/10.
Ready to go here at the big Myrtle Beach Speedway. Oh, how I miss you in the Grand Strand of the Palmetto State. Eatman in the lead, 40 laps to go. Jordan Black in the lead, my apologies. You're on board with Parker Eatman. He's got a trunk full of the Z-Man, Ryan Zima, in front of him. He's on the inside of the number 21 in 1.
Well, let's remember Zima, 20-lap older tires on the rest of these cars because he did pit earlier on, so just doesn't quite, all these cars around him having 20-lap tire advantage.
For sure, something we definitely will keep an eye on and have to watch. As we look now with Jordan Black in the lead, Gentry second, Eatman third. Only a couple of caution flags, a fairly good, clean race, but now, honestly, you got to punch that go button. It is time to get your pawns in order for checkmate on the rest of the field as Black and Gentry battle now. They're single file, but it won't last for long in two there, Scott.
I've got a great feeling here that Gentry is not afraid to be aggressive here. He's been on the back bumper of Black here these last 3 laps. He's been patient, but when will he choose to pull the trigger and go here for this pass for the lead? Because he just looks to be just a tick faster than Black. Right now the lap time's 19.9 for both of them, only separated by 1/100th of a second.
Yeah, that's something we're for sure going to watch as these guys work their way back around the racetrack again. Black, Gentry, Eatman, Zima, Lepanis from Canada. That's how it stands. 35 to go. Ready to settle it here for the Leadfoot Racing League. Hey, by the way, follow them on Discord if you'd like to know more information. Also, Elevated TV and CRN is available on social media for our broadcast platforms. As right now, the man in front, Jordan Black. You see now a battle between Smith, Lindley, Birdsong, but now the battle for the lead. They're pulling away. The top 2 are, but the racing is heating up as they work again on 4.
They have been so close together for so long here. Gentry has a little bit of a mishap there on the exit of 4, loses just a little bit of time, but that gap has stayed under 0.2 of a second. Man, if you are Jordan Black, you have got to be focused here, because at any moment you make a mistake, Gentry is there.
Yeah, you're exactly right, man. I mean, I love the way you just hit it at it. It's definitely getting very excited as right now we see this happening. By the way, if you're keeping up with football too, 22-21, the Bills are up in front of the Chiefs to decide who's going to join the Eagles for Super Bowl 59. And I'll be honest with you, I was watching football before I came to the broadcast booth. Jordan Black, Riley Gentry, they're going at it, single file, closing in on 30 to go. Scott, as they work into 2.
Wesley, a big racing fan, but an even bigger football fan. Gentry here tonight. Well, he's thinking nothing of football, all out in the sim right now. He continues to hound the bumper of Jordan Black. How long will it last? When will he decide to pull the trigger? Because he is continually right there.
That's the nice way of saying it in the words of what Tony Stewart did back in the day. Here, kitty, kitty, meow, meow, meow. It is Gentry running down Black. He's right there on the rear deck lid of the number 14. He's on the outside. He's on the inside. He's literally following his slipstream as they work back into turn 1. They're drafting just like they do in Daytona here at Myrtle Beach.
Well, this goes to show why Gentry is one of those drivers able to compete well in the Cars Tour. Here, a little bit of contact there to the rear bumper, but man, being so patient is Gentry, and that's what you have to have if you're going to make this pass, because it's not going to be easy to get around a driver like Jordan Black. I've been able to watch him over the past year and a half. I've been able to race against him in officials here in iRacing, and he is one that it will be difficult to make the pass on.
What a show they are putting on. 30 laps to go. It is now go time. We're going to go side by side and let you see some sponsors, but stay right here with us as we race on here. Under 30 to go, 28 remaining. The leader, of course, is Jordan Black, Riley Gentry, Parker Eatman. That's the way it stands now as they work off turn 4 as we settle in for the finish here at Myrtle Beach.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
by the way, big thanks to Stagger Pros for the elevated side-by-side coverage here from Myrtle Beach. We'll have an ad read with my buddy Scott Shive in just a moment. But first, another MHD design caution is out. We got trouble again here as we settle in on 25 to go. 100 laps completed, Scott.
Yeah, trouble here for Marty Lindley, battling with the 7 there. That was James Birdsong. Just get into each other and make contact there. They were running just inside the top 10 when this incident occurred.
And that side-by-side was presented by Stagger Pros. You want to brag a little bit about it? We appreciate their sponsor on Elevated TV.
We are thankful to Stagger Pros. Their shop came aboard this year. They're based out of Indiana and work for Anthony Campy Racing in that 81 machine. They are our side-by-side sponsor this year. That's what I've got on my read here, and we're thankful to Stagger Pros for doing all they do.
Anthony Campy. Yeah, man, and obviously we want to say thank you to, in addition to the Stagger Pros, we worked on a deal. I think it actually got inked and finalized this afternoon, believe it or not. We've covered some races on the Community Radio Network, and if people do not know, the Community Radio Network is proud to be my company, my platform, 87.9 FM in the local area where I live in Smithfield on the radio, but of course we also are on wearecrn.com worldwide, and we have worked an agreement whether live or delayed coverage. Any elevated TV iRacing events will be live on the Community Radio Network, and look forward to seeing them on the Thunder Roadster, driven by driver from Winchester and Anderson Speedway, Cody Deemers. Community Radio Network will be on Real Race Cars, Scott, in 2025 up in back home again in Indiana. We're thinking about Daytona, and I'm thinking about the Indy 500 as well. I'm not Jim Neighbors by no means of the imagination, but I long for my Indiana home. I love Winchester. I love Anderson, and I'm looking forward to having my company, CRN, Community Radio Network, on Real Race Cars this year.
Well, I know that you're excited about that, Wesley. It's a very cool venture that you get to be a part of. I know that you've done a lot of amazing and cool things in your career. But, man, what a fight we have had tonight. Jordan Black and Riley Gentry putting on a show up top. And when we come back to green, it'll be under 20 laps to go. Not going green this time, but one more lap. And, man, who is going to get it between these two? But does Parker Eatman and Ryan Zima still have anything for the two of them?
That's the question, right? I mean, we're kind of really keeping an eye on this here now, as we're ready to watch and see what goes on. If you remember, caution laps do count. That's something to emphasize on. Caution laps count in this race. So as we literally hit the home stretch of this race, you got to remember, if we get cautions, it'll make this race go by slower. Guys can start conserving, saving tires. But watch it. 106 of 125 laps about to be ready to come back to green, Scott.
Yeah, I'm excited for this finish. I mean, that battle between Black and Gentry was epic, and we're going to have a lot more of it, but this has reeled in Eatman and Zima back up to the back of them.
Back to the restart zone. Pace cars in, ready to settle it here at Myrtle Beach, and we're back under green. Nice camera angle down into turn number 1 and 2 as they thunder their way with under 20 to go. Black in front for how long, though? Parker Eatman right back up into the song and dance. Riley Gentry is there. And believe it or not, we talked about abrasive. Scott Shive, look at the particles of tire rubber building up and flying through the air from the awesome camera angles as we see them try to send it. Zima into 3 on Gentry.
Yeah, these drivers have used up these tires in Zima. 20-lap older tires than a lot of these guys, but still able to fight here. Tries to get to the inside of Gentry. Wasn't able to do it on the exit of turn 4. So right now it's Black, Eatman, Gentry, Zima, and then Lepanus. Those are your top 5, and Black getting away to a 4/10 of a gap lead. Then it's Eatman. Can Eatman get back to the back of Black?
15 laps to go. 15 to go. By the way, if you are listening on the Community Radio Network, don't forget we've got coverage of basketball tomorrow night. Join Braxton Cutchin, Kim Winslow, Jackie Posey, and myself as Fuquay-Varina and Clayton go at it in a big Greater Neuse River Conference war as we are trying to pick up the pieces of being delayed from the winter storms of the last month of January. Coverage begins tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, with the All-State pregame kickoff tip-off on CRN. Right now, it is go time in the top three. Black, Eatman, Gentry, ready to settle it out here in tonight's Eastern Technology Design 125. Patience is key, but I think that's all going out the window. You know you got to go. You got to go now with 13 to go. Coming to the line, Scott.
Yeah, Riley Gentry is faster than Parker Eatman, just has to find a way around him. Gives him a little tap here in turn number 2. That's going to unsettle Eatman, allow Gentry to try to get a run alongside here. Not going to be enough, but Gentry has got to get by Eatman if he wants to have a chance at Black, because Black continues to move away slowly. Now Gentry gets to the inside. He's going to have to throw the move into turn 1. What will Eatman do to defend?
Days of the hourglass winding down. 10 to go when they come back to the line. Gentry, Eatman, it's magical here off of turn number 3 and 4 as he almost kisses the inside guardrail coming off the corner. Right now, Black in the lead, and there's another caution. Caution out with 10 to go here, Scott, and we got trouble. The 71 of Jason Woodham in trouble here in 1 and 2, or 3 and 4.
Woodham involved here again. We'll take a look back at it. Was running right behind a Max Cost. I think something might have happened in front of them here that unsettled them. This is Landon Brown right here. He was running in 5th. Or excuse me, not 5th. He was running in the top 10. Oh, it happened with Dylan Porter there and the 19 car of Balos.
Big stack up. Let's watch it again as they get into one another. The 10, the 19, Caden Ballast. As all these other drivers were pulled away by the time we got a camera angle on it, and we saw what was left of Jason Woodham as a memory, but great work by Elevated TV to find the action, Scott. And again, here you go, getting aggressive with 10 to go.
Well, and that's the thing, Ballas, he's not even on the lead lap. He's, what is it, Dylan Porter is 2 laps down, and while Balos is 1 lap down, so they weren't even racing for position.
Don't forget, this Friday and Saturday, join us for the virtual Great American Race on Elevated TV and CRN from Daytona, the virtual World Center of Racing. We've got the duels, and then, of course, the big 500. Saturday, this Saturday afternoon, 12 noon. And I'm telling you, 500 miles, 200 laps. We're looking forward to it. It will be live. As I see the graphic pulling up, it will be live on Elevated TV as well as on the Community Radio Network. So you got to kind of have to, Scott, paint that radio TV feel for our audience, because I'm looking forward to having this race live on Saturday and Friday. Now, the duels will be live at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be immediately following coverage of basketball on Friday night on CRN. And that's the reason why we have a delay. Cody Deemers will be joining me in the booth on Friday night. And then, of course, Scott Shive and possibly Legends Racer and Pit Stop TV brother-in, I believe he is of you, Scott.
Yes, he is.
Will be joining us, hopefully.
We got to call with him before. It's been great. But here, this is the place that Riley Gentry wanted to be on the inside. Can he make the move along with Eatman?
Ready to settle it here. Remember, caution laps count. If we get a caution in the late rally of the race, it takes time away to decide the winner. Jordan Black and them know it. We're back underway, ready to settle this here. Working off 3 and 4. It's already 5 to go now.
Gentry, big move into turn 3 there. Gave a little bit of bump there to Eatman. He has got to get by. 5 laps left to go here in this Myrtle Beach race presented by Eastern Technologies Design Incorporated. And man, Gentry's got to go.
I want to say also a big thanks to Joyner Brothers Racing for jumping on to Be a part of the Leadfoot Racing League as we hit the home stretch. We'll mention every single sponsor before we part ways, as right now it is go time with Black and Eatman, Gentry, Zima, Collins, top 5. But right now, as they come to the line with 3 to go, nobody can get out of line and make a run for the lead, Scott, in 1.
Jordan Black has been commanding this race ever since we made it to halfway. He's been able to hold off Riley Gentry earlier on, and now Gentry goes to battle with Parker Eatman. That's only going to slow them up and allow Black to get farther and farther away. We come here to cross the stripe. 2 laps to go.
There will be one attempt at overtime if need be, but right now the penultimate lap of the race is upon us. Working now into the corner. Who is it going to be coming to the white flag? The Eastern Technology Design 125. Jordan Black takes the 1 to go. Battle for second between Eatman and Gentry side by side for the final time in turn number 1.
One more time around here. Eatman and Gentry continue to battle. This is exactly what Jordan Black wants to see down the back straightaway.
It is Eatman and Gentry battling for the bridesmaid spot. Zima wants to also make it a trio, but they're not going to get to Jordan Black. Checkered flag as there's contact, rubbing, racing, slamming into the wall as the caution is going to fly with the checker as well. The race is over. The Eastern Technology Design Inc. 125 goes to Jordan Black. Everyone finally got back on the binders as it got really hairy coming to the checkered flag to decide the winner here at Myrtle Beach in this one.
Yeah, you saw right there Eatman trying to eliminate that run from Zima on the inside. We'll take another look back at it. This is all of them fighting here. Look at Zima. He'll get a great run on the inside, and you'll see Eatman just give it a little left.
And then they worked off the corner, sideways, dirt tracking it, if you will. Going to turn 1 and 2, everybody on the binders. But when it's said and done, the Gentry Eatman Zima law firm could not run down Jordan Black, as Jordan Black loved that. Here's another couple of laps left as we show the finish of the race. And you can tell right here, Scott Shive, they were really getting antsy up ahead, battling aggressive. And this is exactly just what I needed. Great lyrics to a song from the 70s. Jordan Black pulled away and put it to victory lane here at Myrtle Beach.
Well, these drivers knew by this point they weren't going to be able to get back to Black to get the win, so they knew they were battling for the honors of second position, and they battle here into the final lap. They battled, like you said, with aggression, but they did it in a well manner that I love to see, aggressive but clean racing.
And when it's all said and done, again, to the finish, as you watch them from another angle, side by side, as all 3 cars behind the winner, Jordan Black, almost take each other out. Riley Gentry, I believe, you know, Scott, if he had maybe a lap left, Riley Gentry might have been able to make a run on the 14 of Jordan Black. But again, when it's all said and done, it is the number 14 machine taking the checkered flag. Hey, we're going to show you the post-race results pending anything from the Leadfoot Racing League. Right now, it looks like everything stands as it is. Jordan Black is unofficially the winner. Riley Gentry will finish in second. Pardon me, Eatman third. Ryan Zima, the Z-Man. No, don't forget to check him out on the Legends circuit in the number 4 Legends car this year at tracks across the country. Parker Eatman as well in the late model. Thad Collins in the top 5. Travis Lepanis, Tracy Brown, Clay Smith, Marty Lindley, and Jason Woodham, all having up and down days. The points structure is definitely going to be down to the wire with 2 remaining. That's your top 10, Scott.
Yeah, James Birdsong back here in the 7 also had an up-and-down day, finishes in 11th. Points leader Landon Brown did not have the night that he wanted. He finishes in 12th. Max Cost came up through the field early, was trying to break into the top 5, but couldn't quite do it near the end. He was the last driver on the lead lap. Then we saw Caden Balos there involved in 2 incidents, and him and Lenny Brown 1 lap down. Then it was Dylan Porter, Seth Cole, and Nolan Crowley making out your last ends of the field, all multiple laps down.
Hey, as I aforementioned, I do want to acknowledge them, and I feel like I definitely gave them a little bit of more coverage than I needed to. I didn't do that. That's Joyner Brothers Racing. After last week's broadcast that we had successfully in the Leadfoot Racing League, they actually jumped on board as a single race sponsorship for season number 2 whenever they fire back up, of course, after the season 1 finale wraps up. Joyner Brothers Racing, so a big shout out to Chandler Joyner and the family as they will be a sponsor for season number 2. And right now, again, when it's all said and done, the Eastern Technology Designs 125 goes to the man of Mr. Jordan Black. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we are efforting to grab the podium for interviews, elevated TV, CRN coverage of the Leadfoot Racing League from Myrtle Beach. It was a good one. We talk and get their thoughts when we come back next. Going to be very fun to watch these final couple of races remaining for the lid lifter season of the Leadfoot Racing League. Hopefully we'll be able to bring them to you where we can for coverage on Elevated TV and CRN. I'm Wesley Outland, Scott Shive alongside Cody Deemers with the awesome picturesque video images. And what a show we saw, Scott. Again, Jordan Black picking up the win. Let's go now into our post-race interviews here for tonight's Eastern Technology Design 125. And we grab Jordan Black. Jordan, congratulations, man. Let me say this. I know it wasn't easy, but once you did get out in front for that last shootout to the finish, I think you put that car in stealth mode because nobody could find you.
Yeah, I was, after we pitted for tires there, about lap 60 or whatever it was, I was just made it a point to try and get around Riley. I felt like he was definitely the class of the field, and I felt like I had a better chance trying to make him pass me as opposed to me trying to pass him. So, just got out front and tried to save as best as I could, even with him pressuring me during that second to last stint. I got to thank him for not using the bumper too hard and racing me clean. But yeah, it was a great race. I didn't really know what to expect. This is my first race in this league, but I got to thank Landon and everybody all the admins, because it was a really clean race and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Jordan, let's talk about that portion of the race where you were holding off Gentry. Obviously, we know y'all two great drivers, and Jordan, I've had the pleasure of getting to watch you in Monday Night Racing, call that coverage, as well as race against you in some officials. I know I was a little farther back behind you in those officials for sure. But, man, talk to me about that defense and how you have to drive that as well as race so clean.
It's just a balancing act between trying to get enough space to where he really can't do what he wants to in the center, which I definitely didn't do the best job of that all the time. But, just trying to save and run a good enough pace to where I'm kind of making him having to burn his stuff up, trying to get around me as well. So, like I said, it's a balancing act, but I can't thank him enough for racing me clean. He had every opportunity to use the bumper and really get me out of shape there. So, yeah, it was definitely a bit nerve-wracking there for, those 10, 15 laps he was on my bumper. I was pretty happy to see the yellow fly.
So, Jordan, I got to ask you this question, man. What's your take of obviously Myrtle Beach Speedway is no longer in existence. I know it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to anybody that ever had a chance to either race, be a fan, be an announcer, be any part of what that track was in reality on the Grand Strand right there on 501 going to the beaches of South Carolina. But what's your take of continuing to be able to make history and being the first winner at Myrtle Beach for the Leadfoot Racing League on iRacing?
It's awesome. Myrtle Beach is just a place that's got so much history, and it's obviously a shame to see it tore up and see it go. And, I think we all kind of remember it and hang our heads that it's gone now when we go back for Florence or to Florence for the South Carolina 400. But it's just a classic racetrack. It's really tricky. It's got a lot of unique characteristics about it. Each end shaped vastly different. 1 and 2 is really long and sweeping, whereas 3 and 4 is a little bit more of a conventional corner compared to kind of what we're used to at some of the racetracks we go to in real life now. So, it's just nice to be on here and kind of be able to experience again. I only had the pleasure of going a few times, but, it doesn't lessen the impact it had on anybody. I think everybody knows what a staple it was to the community. So in that sense, it's awesome to go ahead and get a win here.
Well, buddy, we do let you go. Please thank your sponsors. Congratulations, Jordan.
I got to thank Parker Reitman Racing, Laney Bice Racing, Jordan Black Racing Development, and lastly, Sour Monkey. So,
yeah, Sour Monkey. And Laney Bice, everybody, I promise you, that's another young lady that I've had the privilege to call races for in the southeast of the U.S. this year. Keep an eye on that young driver. She's going to be somebody to watch, no doubt, for sure. Laney Bice at a track near you. I believe she'll be at the Icebreaker, I believe, too. So, Jordan, thanks for your time, man. Congratulations on winning here at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
The winner of the Eastern Technology Design 125 for the Leadfoot Racing League, of course, that is Jordan Black. Let's go now to a man that has got some amazing credentials as well. Whether, of course, it is, working with the Cars Tour, racing with the Cars Tour. I remember that the old Cars Tour raced here at Myrtle Beach but it was the old pro cars. It wasn't the pro program of the Cars Tour that we see today. But Riley Gentry, of course, man, your take of making some virtual history at Myrtle Beach. It got fun there at the end, and your take of finishing second.
Oh yeah, this track's always fun. I never had the opportunity to actually race it in real life. I kind of started racing after it was done.
Yeah.
Started traveling around that point, and just tonight was fun, man. You could just tell between me, Parker, and Jordan, it was so equal, and track position was so big. And because on the first run, before that caution came out, I could see Jordan really reeling me in, even on the old tires. So I knew he knew how to conserve like really good. But just in the last couple laps, the restarts being stuck on the top and having to make it up, we was just so close. It was just going to be 50-50 between the three of us.
Yeah, Riley, let's relive those last few laps there. Obviously, Jordan was away on the front stretch, but then you and Parker were side by side there, going under 5 laps to go. Talk to me about your mindset there, knowing you have to get away from Parker as fast as possible if you want a chance to battle with Jordan.
Yeah, just knowing that I had to clear Parker, but at the same time, just a respect level thing. I would get a good roll in the center, just a little tight off, and instead of dooring him, just being tight, he got the run back off, just vice versa. Just I'd get a run, he'd get a run, and, just keeping it really clean. Ain't no need in taking nobody out.
Well, Riley, man, I got to ask you this question. The ZMAX Cars Tour season very quickly approaching. What's the plans for real life of 2025? And obviously getting ready for New River All-American Speedway March 1st, Wake County Speedway March 29th, a place that's obviously special for me being the voice of that track. But, what are we going to see you do in the real racing world this year, Riley?
Yeah, we got the Icebreaker coming up, not this week, but next week. Some Cars Tour races. Going to try to hit a couple local shows as far as Hickory, Tri-County, Florence. And the tour actually comes to my home track for the first time in 6-7 years, Anderson Motor Speedway. So that'll be one that I'm really looking forward to.
Wow, yeah, man. Yeah, that is an awesome place, man. I had the privilege. Man, I remember the first time, I want to say, God, when Whelen, how old we are, Riley. 2013, I announced a race at Anderson Speedway with the Coma Modified Series. If anybody remembers that before the Smart Series or the NASCAR Southern Modified Tour had their great success. And, man, I went to Anderson and fell in love with that racetrack. The layout, the facility, the big grandstands, just the racetrack itself is a really, really cool facility. So I think it's awesome that you guys are going to get a chance to experience that for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially with Greenville Pickens closing and having to run there. And we had the Cars Tour come to Greenville at least 3 times. The Old Southern, Old State North Nationals race for 30K. That was fun. Had a good run in that as well. And just looking forward. We go to tracks sometimes that I haven't been to, and it's stressful because you hold your head high. And just for them to actually be coming to a track that I've turned probably more laps around them or around there than anybody is really going to be confident.
Well, Bud, before I let you go real quickly, thank those sponsors. I know I didn't see any on the black car, but do you have any others you want to give a shout out to? Things like that?
Yeah, shout out to Wash Daddy Pressure Washing and Gentry Services.
There you go. Even if they're not on the car, there's still people they want to give some love to, just like saying hi, Mom. That's, of course, Riley Gentry. Check him out on the ZMAX Cars Tour, presented by Sound Gear on Flow Racing. Time in 2025. And finally, let's grab the man in the number 4. He was the big winner of the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National Motorsports Park. Of course, if a lot of people did not know, Southern National and Florence are aligning themselves with the what do they call it, the Ultra Broadcasting or Ultra Racing Alliance. And well, this man was the winner of the big race back in last November. Number 4, Riley Gentry was second. Parker Eatman, your take of this race, man. It was very exciting, very fun, and you get a podium out of the deal.
Yeah, man, it was a good race overall. Obviously qualified on the pole, set out a pretty good lap there in qualifying, but just kind of rode during the race. Tried to save my tires the best I could. I think Jordan and Riley did a little bit better job of me there at the end, saving. And I think that's what cost me there at the end. But overall, a good race, and we'll take a top 3.
You know, Parker, waning on those last few laps, what were you thinking there? Obviously, you had the inside on one of those second-to-last restarts there. You were able to get in front of Riley, but then another caution comes out. You're stuck on the outside. What does your mindset turn to when you go to 6 laps to go, you're starting on the outside lap like that, knowing you have to, A, cut off Riley there, but also try to be able to get in line to try to be able to battle with Jordan?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I knew Jordan was a little bit better there at the end, and I knew Riley was a little bit better too. So once I got in line, I kind of just was focused on trying to finish second. Obviously, that didn't happen, but yeah, we had a couple laps to figure it out. But it was pretty good racing with Riley there. We raced each other pretty clean. But you know, when I see my teammate out front and first, I'm just trying to hold off Riley so he doesn't get to Jordan and get a team win.
Parker, I got to ask you this question. I mean, I know you. How long have you been racing, bud? How long have you been racing? Did you ever compete at Myrtle Beach Speedway before it shut down?
I've actually never ran at Myrtle Beach Speedway. I've heard a lot of stories over there, but yeah, I've never raced there.
Oh yeah, I can tell you some stories. I'll never forget the night that the crazy late model race got called with like 50 laps to go, and there was a brawl in the pits, and man, there's a lot of history store moments at that race. I think of Jamie Cottle, and I think of the great battle. You know what? I think of Christian Eckes when he debuted at Myrtle Beach and just lit up the world in a super late model event. I think it's the last time we saw supers at track. But dude, what does it mean to you though to be able to continue to race on the platform like Iracing at Myrtle Beach and just having fun, man? What's it like being a real driver? A lot of real drivers in the platform we just spoke with, but definitely keeping fresh, right, to get ready for the real racing season to get underway here.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's great. There's a lot of drivers out there that race in real life, so obviously the competition is going to be there. And just to keep the skills sharpened for the season, I think it's great. But overall, a good day. I mean, top 3 I can't be too mad about. But I just want to thank everybody that put this on. Landon Brown, all the admins. It was a good show.
Yeah, remember he was the winner of the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National Motorsports Park. And what's your plans for racing this year in real life, Parker?
I'm gonna run full-time Cars Tour and go for the Cars Tour Championship. So I'm looking forward to that. Kicking off at New River here in a couple weeks.
There you go. No, go ahead, man. Go ahead, Cuddy.
Well, that's a great question. I mean, I throw it in the washer every now and then after the race, but it was it was debuted at Southern National when we won, so we're 1 for 1 with it right now. So
gotta keep it clean and pristine.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Clean and pristine. I love the closing thoughts there with Scott there. Parker, thanks for your time, man, and we appreciate you. Before we let you go, thank your sponsors, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, man. I just want to thank all my sponsors, Southern Bank, Twin County, Big Rock, Stone Creek Builders, Robbins Insurance, Sour Monkey, can't forget about them, Sour Monkey Motorsports, shout out. So, yeah, thanks for having me on.
Sour Monkey. Can we elaborate more? Where did Sour Monkey Motorsports come from?
It's just you'd have to look it up. It's just look up Sour Monkey on Google, and me and Jordan got the idea one day.
I mean, I promise you, I got time. I will look it up to find out the story, for sure. So, Sour Monkey Motorsports, I love it. So, and that's in real life too, right?
What's that?
I said you promote Sour Monkey Motorsports in real life too, right?
Well, we actually just started the team, so not yet, but I mean...
Oh, wow, so it just got started. It just got started.
Yeah,
so
first race was here, and we came out to win.
There you go. It launched tonight. It's Sour Monkey Motorsports. So, Parker, thanks for your time, buddy. We'll see you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
There you go. There's, of course, Jordan Black, Riley Gentry, Parker Eatman on the podium, guys. Thanks for taking the time to join us for post-race. Hey, listen, we're going to step away and thank our sponsors one more quick time. And Scott and I will give some final thoughts for tonight's event for the Leadfoot Racing League from Myrtle Beach. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Elevated Television. We are home to the Pitfall Podcast Tour, the Madhouse Racing League, and if you are looking for a league or in a broadcast company looking to shine and show your name out there, look no further than Elevated Television. More than just broadcasting. We also do quality edits with HD picture quality and more. Here in just a few of what we do here over on Elevated Television. Overlays. We do all forms of racing from late models to NASCAR. So if you're a league owner looking to get your league out there, look no further than Elevated TV. Make sure you check out Elevated Television on YouTube, Facebook, and more. And since we are elevating your game, high-quality sim racing broadcast since 2022.
Hey, again, don't forget, join us for the virtual Great American Race, the AI Daytona 500, this upcoming Friday and Saturday, January 31st, and Saturday, February the 1st, on Elevated TV as well as on the Community Radio Network. Wesley Outland, Scott Shive, Cody Deemers, and, of course, planning to have Zachary Demurtis join us as well for the broadcast call. So, Scott, we're going to look real quickly after we do promote the broadcast, by the way. Again, the big thanks to everybody for watching, but again, that'll be this upcoming Friday and Saturday. Did I say Demurtis? I'm probably Zachary Murtis is planning, but look at the finish of this race, and Scott, you could not set a storyline the way we saw it. I know that Jordan pulled away and got the W, but what a battle there for these three cars coming to second place at the line.
I mean, it really was. Black got a great run there, and then obviously these were the top four cars of the night. Parker Eatman qualifying on pole, and then you saw drivers like Gentry, Zima, and of course Jordan Black. They all qualified 1 through 4, and at the end of the night they were racing 1 through 4. Obviously Zima pitted a little earlier, and these guys didn't quite have the tires, but man, what a battle it was to the finish.
There it is. There's the contact. There's the bumping, the banging, the slamming. Jordan Black even got up into the in the marbles, if you will, on the cool down lap. And when it was all said and done, Jordan Black gets the win. Hey, if you didn't know, Bills and Chiefs are tied. I hope they missed this field goal. This game is what we're now going to watch as we now set our sights hopefully on the next event for the Leadfoot Racing League. But Scott, man, it was fun being able to join you in the, have you join me in the booth. Cody Deemers, awesome job on the production as well. I know we got sponsors we're going to read out before we get off the air, but man, your final take of this race, bud.
Yeah, I thought it was great. We saw some excellent, clean racing from all these guys out here. We had very few cautions for incident, and man, it was just a great show these guys put on. I know they put on a great one last week at Martinsville, and I'm excited about Hickory. Hopefully you and me will be able to be on that. We'll have to see if Elevated TV will be producing that race, but if we get to, I know Hickory will be quite a show as well.
Hickory, the birthplace of the NASCAR stars. And by the way, they're already working on season number 2. They got a lot of cool things planned. I want to say a big thanks to my buddy Landon Brown for giving us the opportunity to join us. Hey, we want to thank some more sponsors on Elevated TV. By the way, if you did not know, Elevated TV, as we approach the final laps, of course, big thanks for them sponsoring the white flag. Elevated TV takes your viewing experience to the next level. Be sure to tune in for exclusive race content and elevate your virtual race night. More details on Facebook and YouTube as well as Motorsports Podcast shows. Thank you also to the Community Radio Network for our broadcast coverage as well, locally originated by yours truly, Wesley Outland. Of course, we bring you the best of coverage from high school, college, and pro. Everything from racing, basketball, football, and even on iRacing, as we did when the COVID seasons happened in 2020. Of course, check it out as always on 87.9 FM if you're in the area of the listening area of Smithfield and Clayton, North Carolina. And of course, if not, as always, on wearecrn.com. And of course, this race and all other broadcasts are available on replay on podcast platform outlets too. Irvin Used Auto Parts, based out of Leland. Cheapest and best pick and pull around. Best part is what you want, and Shane Irvin and the great folks there will take care of you. Better yet, they do all the pulling and work for you, so make sure you call them. And around the Leland, North Carolina area, Irvin Used Auto Parts. USA Tires, you can get a tire between $45 to $70. You can't beat that with this type of economy we have today. Your one-stop shop for all your tire needs. Make sure to stop by and tell them Elevated TV sent you. And I believe we got a couple of more, Scott, if you want to let me take a breath because I'm talking 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, we got a few of those there here tonight, as well as our sponsors that we had here in the race tonight. I got to pull up my document here real quick because to make sure we had all those sponsors that we could thank. I know that we had our title sponsors here tonight because it was an excellent race that we had for all these. We had Eastern Technical Design Incorporated sponsored our race tonight. W Energy sponsored our pole award, and obviously MHD Design Incorporated was our caution sponsor, and Gear Up Photography for our stage break photography. Those all Eastern Technology provides design and drafting services for commercial, industrial, and residential construction. Services include architectural renderings, preliminary plans, design, as well as final construction drawings. Thanks to MHD Designs as well. Again, they include owned by Mac Morgan, based in North Carolina as a company that excels in creating innovative architecture and interior design solutions. They focus on crafting unique and functional spaces for residential clients, ensuring each project reflects the individual style and needs of the homeowner. W Energy provides a high-quality energy drink crafted with a blend of ingredients, ensuring clean and effective energy boost without a crash or jitters associated with other drinks out there. W Energy is committed to helping individuals stay energized and perform at their best during workouts, gaming sessions, or daily activities. Use code LFRL for 10% off on your order every single time. A portion of all of those proceeds go back to the LFRL Late Model Tour. And finally, Gear Up Photography. Gear Up Photography snaps quality race day pictures at America's favorite bull ring, Wake County Speedway. Follow them at Gear Up Photography 1, that's the number 1, on Instagram, and send them a message of your favorite track photos today.
That's exactly right, and there are 2 races left in season number 1 of the Leadfoot Racing League. Thanks to Landon Brown for having us covered on Elevated TV and CRN. That is next Sunday night at Hickory Motor Speedway. I don't know, they might postpone it because they do realize the Clash at Bowman Gray is next Sunday night as well, right, Scott? I mean,
I gotta imagine they do.
I'm gonna get like what do they call it? Whiplash, turning my head back and forth. Even worse right now, watching football, turning my head back and forth, trying to watch the game and watch the race at Bowman Gray with the Clash. As a matter of fact, I actually have some broadcast obligations with the Clash at Bowman Gray next week too. So because of that, right now, tentatively, February 2nd, Hickory penultimate race, so they're scheduled for season 1, and then of course the championship will be decided at North Wilkesboro, but you never know. They might decide to postpone it or push it back a week. We will find out from the Leadfoot Racing League. But also, I want to say thank you to Tracy Brown and the 91 Windshield, $25 windshield banner sponsorship opportunities. Of course, so if anybody's out there wanting to have their windshield and have their business promoted, $25 for the last couple of races of the year. Mention them, and they'll take care of you. And finally, also, Joyner Brothers Racing has jumped on board already, Scott, as a sponsor for Season 2 for the Leadfoot Racing League. Landon was telling me that the other day, and he was, just mad props to Cody and I for what we did and getting a sponsor out of the deal. So we appreciate it. And if you're out there and you want to be a sponsor besides all the other great sponsors we've already mentioned, just contact and reach out to either Elevated TV or Mr. Landon Brown and the Leadfoot Racing League, and they'll take care of you. Scott, pleasure working with you, man. Hopefully work together again for the near future. I know we got the virtual Daytona 500 coming up this Saturday, of course, February the 1st. And again, what a great time here. And don't forget, you'll hear him call the action of I believe it's the Rolling Thunder Street Stock Series, Modifieds, and more coming up this week on Elevated TV. But a pleasure, Scott, working with you.
It was a great time, Wesley. Hopefully we'll do it again.
It certainly was a good one. Cody Deemers, very different, not having his voice chiming in the background, but he did a phenomenal job on the production. And I'll be honest with you, when you're multitasking, when you got that ADHD trying to do both at one time, definitely sometimes something can be different than the other. But man, phenomenal job on the production side of things with my buddy Cody Deemers. Much love to our friend with Elevated TV as well as on the community. Yeah. Langley Speedway, I believe, is where they're going to be at tomorrow night. Elevated TV. Make sure you join them for coverage of, I believe it's, is it the Street Stocks?
It's the It's our SK Modifieds with the 4Wide Motorsports Group, and man, they have been hot recently, Wesley, and that's going to be an exciting race at Langley tomorrow night.
Yeah, I've got other things going on tomorrow night, my friend. I got basketball and NASCAR race broadcast. But, Scott and Cody will be back with you tomorrow night. I look forward to being with you guys on Friday and Saturday for the virtual Great American Race, RAI Daytona 500. When it's all said and done tonight, here at virtual Myrtle Beach, Jordan Black wins. Be good to one another. God bless you all. Thanks for checking us out. We appreciate you. And again, archives will be up soon. We'll